Stock Favors here. Welcome back to the channel. I got a question for you. What do you do when it feels or it seems like everything is going wrong? Your mind is all over the place. Nothing that you're doing is really working. And you're just ready to throw in the towel. Well, I'm going to give you an answer right now. The good book tells us in James chapter 1:8 that a double-minded man is unstable in his ways. And the answer to that question, when you're feeling scatterbrained, when everything is all over the place, you got to get back to the point to where you can focus and concentrate your attention. I want you to understand something, that attention is forceful in proportion to the narrowness of its focus, okay? I'm going to say that again. I'm going to read that. Y'all know me. I got my notes right here, so I'm going to give it to you. But attention is forceful in proportion to the narrowness of its focus. That is, when it is put into a single idea, okay? So when you all over the place and things is going haywire, you got to get back to the drawing board. You got to go back to the thing that excited you in the first place. You got to get back to the desire. And most importantly, you really got to go back and look at your why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What am I doing? See, a lot of times we go into these things and we worry about the how, or we're concerned with the how up front. And I tell people all the time now, don't worry about the how. We can brainstorm and creatively figure that out. But your why has to be so important that it keeps you focused. Your why has to be so deliberate, your desire, right? Because we understand that the desire, which realizes itself, is always a desire upon which attention is focused on. In other words, what's in your heart, what you want to do, you get involved with it emotionally, then it becomes like a burning desire. That is what wakes you up in the morning, because whatever your burning desire is, it's associated deeply with your why. So when things isn't going right, or I see something going and I miss the pattern or miss the trend I always go back to my why. Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? The answer to that is what becomes my purpose or my what. So the why. I want to make, say, 6 figures a month. Why? Because in order to do that, here's the what. The what is, I have to be able to take care of my family, because there are a lot of things that my family look to me when they don't know what to do. So I have to have the answers. I got to have the resources. That's the what. I got to be in position that when they call, you know what, or when they need me, I can be there without any equivocations, any problem. That gives such a peace of mind, because really that's leadership to me. You know, we all know that some leaders are more reactive than proactive. But for me, leadership is anticipation, okay? When I'm in a position and I'm able to anticipate pitfalls, setbacks, distractions, and things like that, because I know my why and my what, I then can use the how to develop a framework, to develop a system that will keep me focused and keep me in place. And guys, we call those boundaries, okay? Because please understand what I'm getting ready to tell you. I want to read something to you all. The power of focused attention is the measure of your inner force. Concentrated observation on one thing shuts out other things and causes them to disappear. Did you all hear that? Once again, concentrated observation, in other words, concentrated intentional focus on one thing shuts out all the other stuff, the negative conversations, the negative thoughts, man. It'll literally shut it down when your why is so strong and your what is a good reason, okay? So that's the first thing I want you to understand, is getting in touch with your attention span. Do you all not know that some statistics say that the attention span of the average person is about 7 minutes? If you look at sitcoms and look at TV, they run in, and when we used to do videos online, they would tell us that our videos have to be 28 minutes and a few seconds, because every 7 minutes they got to run an ad, run a commercial, because people's attention spans only last 7 minutes. So if you haven't paid attention to it, pay attention to some of your TV shows and some of these things that's running for 30-minute time slots. Every 7 minutes they interrupt your piece, because they got to pull your attention back in. Or at least that's what they believe. Interestingly enough, is if you look at that, that's what's really happening. You know, you just think it's people paying for ads and everything, but no, it's a serious system involved in how to get you to have this concentration or to have the ability to pay attention. Now, when we do pay attention, amazing things happen. When you pay attention, you recognize and you see things that you normally would overlook. When you pay attention, Your level of awareness increases to that. Now, I want you all to jot this down. Whatever you focus on, you give power to. What do I mean by that? Whatever I'm focusing on, I'm giving power to because I'm giving energy to it. Think about that. In order to do certain things in life, especially those things that have energy. If you look at an engine, an engine in the car, you go through this whole process. They put the whole car together. You put the key in, you turn the key, and the ignition starts. But all of that starts from a battery source. That's the energy source that cranks that car. Once you do that, then you have the alternator, which continues to run it. That becomes the backup energy source, continues to run it. So your batteries, especially if you live in the northern cities in America, whatever, anywhere in cold climate, your batteries has to have enough cranking amps in order to crank the vehicle. Then your alternator keeps it running and runs all the lights and everything like that. So I want you to understand something. It works the same way in your mind when it comes to attention and keeping attention, because in order to keep your attention, you got to focus. In order to focus, you got to have a strong why and know your what. Once you do that, then I'm telling you, everything else is uphill from there. So when it comes to business, you all, and I go through this all the time because, we build these email lists, we build these businesses, we do these courses. And as soon as you do it, you just want people to come and just get it because you don't put your sweat equity in it. It's amazing. It's going to help some people. But oftentimes, people, it's not necessarily that, a lot of people don't open those emails or they don't, buy with you or shop with you. It's just that you are not on their radar, which means for that particular piece, their attention is elsewhere. Now, many people know that some of those programs you do have, if you're a coach, for instance, like myself, I know a lot of people look at my information and they can use it, but some of them, for whatever reason, their attention span is elsewhere, so it could be the wrong timing. I've had people tell me, man, Mike, I'm gonna get with you, Doc, but I gotta get this out the way first. Then I had people tell me, man, you know what, Doc, it sounds good, but I need to get it faster. And I always tell them the same thing. I understand. If it's the timing, then hey, just continue to follow, stay connected, because I'm always giving free content that you can use now. For those who say, hey, I want it right now, I tell them the truth. Hey, I don't believe that wealth can be generated in such a way without doing things a certain way. That's like lottery. We don't gamble. Let me tell you all something. Wealth is built over a consistency of time, okay? Now, you can have quantum leap seasons. You can 10X. But you still have to do work, and it still takes a 10X amount of time. And I'll do some videos about that a little later, because the concept of 10X, you all, it does work, seriously. But once again, you have to set your attention to that part of your mind that says, okay, in order for me to 10X, I have to do this, which means I may have to release some things or stop doing some things and, just let some stuff go, because I'm putting too much time and energy and too much of focus. I'm putting too much attention to this thing over here that's going to take me too long. So give an example to that. If I said that in 6 months, my life was changed and I took my yearly salary and turned it into a monthly salary, then I just redeemed my time, which meant I had to stop doing those things that made me get this type of piece in 6 months. In a year or 6 months versus 1 month, okay? Or in a whole year versus 6 months, all right? What does that mean? That means the things that I was doing, taking those incremental steps, I was focused on that and intentionally putting energy to it. But then when I found out another way, when I went and got some mentoring, they said, hey, if you eliminate this and eliminate that and focus on this, then you'll see increase in sales, you'll see increase in your income, and that's how you turn your yearly annual salary into a monthly salary. That's what happened. So in order for me to focus on becoming that person that could generate these type of funds in a month versus a year, I had to now abandon some of the old strategies, which means I couldn't give those old strategies attention. I had to rework the frame, rework the system. And next thing you know, guys, hey, my attention span, I got some of my time back, which actually freed up more time for me to creatively create certain things. And it freed up more time for me to focus. Now that's an interesting concept right there. How do you free up your mind from being all over the place and having worry, doubt, and fear to whereas you can really creatively focus on the thing that's going to help you? Well, once again, you all, it's attention. Gotta realize what you focus on, what you give your attention to. Some things in life I don't give my attention to, and you shouldn't either. If it's not helping you, progressing you, push you into a certain direction, then we spend too much time looking at everyone else live their life. So I just wanted to share this quick message with you all and let you know that, one of the things that I believe now, if you all haven't noticed, I'm really kicking it up and teaching about boundaries, because what you put your attention on, what you focus on, that's a muscle. That's how we create the boundary. So I create a boundary in that area of protecting my attention so that certain things can't distract me or come in and side block me or roadblock me, right? Or railroad me. And that's because I have these blockers. I have these boundaries in place, all right? So I strongly encourage you all to check that out. I'll leave a link down below where you can get some more information about that. And let's get our minds back right. Let's mind our business and start putting our attention where it can benefit us the most. And I guarantee you'll thank me later. It's Doc Favors. We'll see you next time.